Hey, this says we're live. I love this picture of a phoenix behind me because so much of my life is centered around the phoenix. My life is centered around the legend of the phoenix. I remember, and you remember in Harry Potter that scene where Harry's in Dumbledore's office and the bird fox gets old, and then Bart explodes into flame, and then the little baby bird rises from the ashes. And then, Dumbledore tells Harry about what the phoenix is and does and how it can carry tremendous weight and the healing powers of the tears. And then, of course, um, Fox, the phoenix, shows up later with the sword of Gryffindor to help Harry. Anyway, the phoenix rising from the ashes, lots of folks love that feeling and story because why? Because it's true in their lives. Like they have been at a place where they have died essentially, or the world has collapsed in and around them, and then they are reborn because of pure resilience from the ashes. So let's explore that for a sec. I want you to think about your own life trajectory. Like this moment today, you are where you are. We're a couple of weeks before Christmas, 13 days, and it's exciting in our house. We're fun. We've been keeping a little thing on the wall where we count the days to Christmas. And of course, right after Christmas, 360, whatever. And then, after a while, it's below 300 and it's lost in the morass of 200 and something. And it gets into 100 and something, then it's lost again. And then here we are. We're just a few days away. And Christmas is important. It's a fun secular celebration, meaning there's joy and joviality and parties and gifts and decorations and things. But for me, the center is religious, the truth of, the God of our creation who created a way for us to improve and grow and fix mistakes and stuff. And that's an integral part of my own life, my mistakes and things that I've had to do overs and repair and make amends and all the words that we use with that. And then my whole life's full of that, still is. Every day I make mistakes and I fix them and go on. But you know what's fun? I used to live in a place of sadness, of avoiding mistakes and feeling bad, and I don't do that anymore. I live the very best I can. And when it becomes clear that I've done something that hurt someone, then I just bust it and fix it and then go on and go forward. And it's beautiful and loving. So today I titled this, Your Story is Your Power. What in the world would I mean by that? Excuse me. Well, my journey, your journey, trip, whatever it is through life, from as early as I can remember, has been one of accomplishing things, failing at things, feeling good about myself, feeling bad about myself, creating relationships and, getting work and having, making a lot of money or getting fired and, struggling with depression and having bouts of addiction. And some of the things are good and some are just like a disaster. But every time I've had the blessing of rising from the ashes, like the phoenix bird behind me, getting up again and making a choice to go forward. And what that's taught me, here's what it's taught me. Your story, you right here, right now, your story through life, the reason you are where you are, that's your greatest power. Now, you can do nothing with it. You can disagree with me. You can go get a job as a doctor or a lawyer or whatever. And all those things are fine and good, and you can do good with that. But your true power as a human being, where you can make the most money and the most difference and have the most fun, is tied intimately to your being, your story, how you got where you are, your journey, whatever you want to call it, your own hero's journey. Now, where you are in at this moment in your journey might be in the give up stage. Ugh, I suck. Everything sucks. I can't do what I want. I can't have what I want. I don't know. Or you might be at a different stage where you're striving and building and life is just, whoa, you're on top of the universe. That might be where you are right now. But wherever you are, you're on a continuum from birth to death that you create. And that's despite the fact that it rains when it rains and accidents happen and all the rest. Of course they do. None of that matters. What matters is how I react to them, what I make out of them. What magic can I make from the mess? What is the magic the beautiful thing, mountain can I create from this, mud? That's my choice and it's yours too. And the story of that journey, that's where you have your power. And that what it does is it amplifies and augments whatever else you're doing. If you're a clerk in a grocery store, the way you show up every day matters. How you interact with the people. Maybe you're an engineer and you're designing bridges, or you work in the electricity industry like I used to, and you use calculations to figure out transmission lines. None of that is the biggest thing that you have. And if you or we don't connect to the power of our story, our journey through life, successes and failures and big things and small things and powerful things and hurtful things, if we don't connect to that, we're leaving the joy of our life on the table. We're leaving the big impact we could make on the table, and we're leaving a boatload of cash on the table. And that's the fact. Now, that's one of the things I love about the work I do, coaching, mentoring, being a guide, an encourager. Coaching's the people encouragement business, and I love being in it. And the reason I love being in it is because it allows me to see the hearts of people, to get into the details and the circumstances and help those that want it to take advantage of that journey, that time when they've burned in the ashes and then created something. I love doing that. It is so fulfilling, so fun, so glorious, and so beautiful. So one of the ways that I do that is help people to organize that story and write it into a book. Not just so they can say, I wrote a book, and not just so they can brag about their resilience. None of that. There is nothing like the discipline of organizing the events of your life that built you where you are into a book. Now, whether you go market the book and try to get, sell 1 million books or not is a different question. That's a thing about what to do with this. But the work, organizing yourself, your story, your victories, your failures, the things that have gone well, the things that have gone poorly, when you've succeeded, when you've given up, examining and organizing that is the most powerful exercise you can do. And here's why. You will be able to identify your superpower, the thing you do that's unique to you because of your life experience and your gifts and the skills that you've learned. You'll be able to identify that thing you have to offer to the world that's more valuable than anything else you got. It's the best thing in your arsenal. Now, you can leave it on the table if you want. But when you identify that, almost every single person I work with, this activity calls to them. This is what I am in the world. This is what I want. And then doing something with it becomes not work. It's a joy. It's fun because you're connected to all of the gifts and skills you have, the skills you've learned, the gifts you had to start with, and the life experience, the times you've burned down and been reborn, the resilience, the victories, and learning on purpose to examine that and then marrying it together creates the most powerful thing I've got, you've got to offer. Most people don't have the courage to do that. I invite you to do that. So here's what I'd like you to do. I'm going to invite you to something. If you have felt like you probably ought to write a story or a book about your life, your story and your experience, not to write a memoir, but to mine it for gold that you can use for yourself and to serve others. If that's a calling that you have felt like that's been on your heart, I'm going to start in the new year a book challenge, a book challenge. And if you join that challenge, by the end of it, you'll have a book done, you'll have it published, and you'll have a #1 Amazon best-selling book. That's good by itself. But from that, you will also know exactly how to turn that work that you've done in creating it into products, like information products or teaching products or coaching products, if you want to, into a speech, a talk, a keynote, or several keynote things that you could do so you can speak and have that be a source of impact and income. And you can turn it into workshops and so forth. The process that I've created called the Story Arc, I wrote that book, it's the best there is. in the world, bar none. I've certainly never seen anyone or heard anything that is as good as powerful as simple as this story arc process. So if this speaks to you, if you've said, I know I ought to do this, and you've said that a million times and you haven't, this is your invitation. So reach out to this email, meetwithkellan@gmail.com. Meetwithkellan@gmail.com, and put book challenge as the title. Meetwithkellan@gmail.com, put book challenge as the title. And let me know you'd like to do that. It's going to start in the new year. And I'm gathering a group who finally say, you know what, it is time for me to do this. I talked to a lady yesterday and she was fast. She put her hand up and said, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. Because she felt she'd already started writing and collecting, guess what? The stories about her life and how they had impacted her and how she was using them in the business which she has. Now, she's an adventure mountain climber, and she takes people on mountain adventures. But what you do, how you do it, doesn't matter. The act of putting your story together is the most powerful, liberating, educational tool you can create to create products, services, and let you be of service the way you want to. Let you have a business, if you want to create that. It's more fun than anything you've ever done, I promise. 100% success rate. So let me know, meetwithkellan@gmail.com. Now, I'm going to mention that email again at the end, but here's what I want to leave with you now. Your story, your journey, the events of your life and what you've chosen, even if you've chosen poorly, things that happen to us sometimes ruin us and then they refine us if we let them. So if you feel like you want to do this, then let's get busy. Now, here's what I know for sure. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you've been. I don't care what you've done or haven't done. You have an important gift to offer the world. Now, you're free to choose to do nothing with it. You're free to believe the lies that say nobody'd listen, it doesn't matter. But that's not true. No matter where you are or what you've done, you have a story. You matter. And you can have big impact if you want to. It's not required, but many people feel that yearning. And how they say it when I'm talking to them is, I love to help people. And what most people do not do is dig into that and say, okay, what would that look like? Especially if you're thinking, I'd like to get paid to do it. I want to help people. Well, if you want to help people, you can help people across the street. You can help people in the grocery store parking lot that drop their bags, and you can volunteer to soup kitchen. There's 1,000 ways to help people, and those are all good. Don't get me wrong. And we should do them every chance we get. Again, don't get me wrong. We should be that kind of people. If you want to, I say should, that's up to you. I feel better when I'm doing that with my life in every circumstance. But if you want to go beyond that and have a larger impact, if you want to organize your impact, if you want to help a particular group of people, often the journey that you or I've had draws us to a certain group of people. I have a client right now who loves helping women who struggle with financial stuff. Why? Because that was her story and she became resilient and learned to do it. So she's like, wow, I can help people with this. Look what I learned. I can help others who are struggling to take a shortcut, right? And that's often the genesis of the yearning we have to serve. We're built to love and serve each other. So the point today is your message, your life is your best gift. Your authentic sharing, vulnerably being who you are, is your most potent tool to make both impact in the world and make money, a good, powerful amount of money. And it's not about selling things, it's not about selling or anything else. It's about providing service that's so valuable, people are lining up to get what you have. But the reason they line up is because of the authenticity and power of what you have experienced and share. So if that's you, let's talk. Meetwithkellan@gmail.com and put book challenge in the title. Love to get you in that group. It's going to start after Christmas next year. We will see you there.